Welcome back to the Crypto's Key Conversation. In today's video, I'm just going to jump straight into the content, but I want to start by saying there's a lot of market volatility going on. There's a lot of stuff with Celsius. Obviously, we have massive sell-off when it comes to Bitcoin, sitting down 14.2% for a 24-hour period, sitting at 23,000. We saw it as low as 22,000 something. So there's a lot of negativity, a lot of just downside sentiment out there, and I just want you to know that you're not alone. A lot of us that have been holding and accumulating for years, 5+ years, whatever the case is, we've been through these ebbs and flows and the ups and downs of the market. This is just one of the phases that we're going through at this point. Obviously, with regulations coming around, a lot of these so-called DeFi projects and platforms, being attacked and going under, just like the whole Terra Luna stuff and UST. There's just so many different narratives. You have Jerome Powell and the Fed and inflation in the United States. You have Ukraine and Russia, tension, geopolitical stuff that's going on. It's literally turmoil everywhere. So just know you're not alone. If you have the ability to, hodl strong with your assets and, dollar cost average, I'm personally been doing it with a little bit of reserves cash that I have, because I definitely see this is just there's going to be a blimp on the radar or a blimp on the map in the greater scheme of this entire market. So I just wanted to start with that. Looking at CoinGecko here, we're currently sitting at a $1.02 trillion market cap, currently down almost 12% for a 24-hour period. Obviously, Bitcoin's sitting at 23,577. So if we come over here and look, let's see what our low was for a 24-hour period. What load up says 24-hour low, 22,725. So I mean, we took a bit of a dip here, when we were just sitting at 27.5. So there's a lot of negativity that's going on, especially through Twitter. Even you see, a lot of big YouTubers and big people that have big Twitter followings, confirming, oh, we're in a bear market. And there you hear people talking about this is the end. And, the whole USDT or Tether stuff and the depegging. Oh, Terra's going to be the next Luna. No one really knows what's going to happen. Obviously, there's whales that manipulate this market. So with all that, like, we as smaller investors, we really don't know what's truly going to happen. So all we can do is do the best we can. And granted, your own personal circumstances, finances, or whatever the case is, status in your life, you're going to have to dictate what's best for you and your family. Moving on here, looking at the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, we're currently sitting at 11. This is going to update in 3 hours and 7 minutes. I definitely see this, coming down to single digits. We were just at single digits last month, and I know we had a low of 8, twice in the history of our market. So I'm curious to see where this is going to go. And, just looking at the sentiment, following the TA guys that I follow and just kind of hear them talk about certain things, even the people who actually look at the fundamentals behind the market, there's been a lot of talk of, capitulation setting in and, this potentially being, the last capitulation before we have some sort of reversal, whatever the case is. Quite honestly, I'm not holding my breath. Being in this market since late 2017 till now, going through all those ebbs and flows and the ups and downs of the markets, I'm just kind of doing the best I can, not over investing or investing more than I'm willing to risk for my family. Just accumulate when I can and just kind of staying within my lane when it comes to investing. And it kind of keeps me sane, allows me to sleep at night. But when it comes to the greater scheme of this market, I literally have very little doubt that we're going to have massive potential upside, with the weeks, months, and years to come. Coming up here, James K. Filan. I was actually going to pull up this update, but I think I had switched it over. Long story short, James K. Filan has been massive when it comes to the Ripple versus SEC updates, and I just wanted to show him some love. If you're not following James K. Filan, I highly recommend that you do, because he tends to update us all on what's going on, day by day, step by step, when it comes to these documents and these motions that are presented within the case. So I wanted to show James K. Filan some love on that one. I wanted to start with this Wheezy tweet here, this Nerd Nation Unboxed. And this is Chairman Gensler here. It says, Gary was asked about the bill a couple days ago. I'll just leave it right here. So let's take a listen into this really quick.
Now, if I could follow up on crypto, these are general questions, Chair. So just recently, a bill, I believe, has been floated by Senator Loomis of Wyoming, Senator Gillibrand.
Senator Lummis.
Lummis, excuse me, and Gillibrand of New York, sort of broad outlines of regulation for crypto. And I guess the question is, first, what's your broad impression? Second, just, if you can't answer that, which is doubtful, but what's your overall view on the need for regulation in crypto? And then how well the bill, from what we understand, divvies up responsibilities of regulation to both the CFTC and SEC. how well do you think you can work together to actually execute on regulation of crypto?
So there's a lot you packed in there, and I've had good dialogues with Senator Lummis, and I've known Senator Gillibrand for years, and certainly worked with her very closely in the Obama years. But whatever comments I might have, I'm going to share with them, not with you and your audience now. And I really haven't reviewed their bill. It was released yesterday.
So I just wanted to bring that up because you can see Chairman Gensler, when it comes to these interviews that he, is a part of, and they ask him certain questions, like obviously he's giving about those roundabout non-answers constantly. And the fact that he was so dismissive right away, you threw a lot in there and there's a lot to unpack in there. And instead of like taking a deep breath, taking a second to kind of analyze what was being asked and trying to answer some of what he was saying, he's quick to just be very dismissive. And then to say, if I have anything to comment on those, I'm going to comment with them, not with you and your audience. That's just kind of the chairman that's leading. This is the person that's leading our SEC that's supposed to be there to protect investors. And speaking of, when it comes to Johnny Dean and the rest of us that's a part of this class action lawsuit, I think he's reaching almost, close to 68,000 people, and we still have yet to hear from Chairman Gensler, but you're so-called set out to protect investors. This is why I wanted to put that video up. This is the person that's representing us. This is the chairman of our SEC. Crazy, can't even answer questions. Stuart Alderati put up this great tweet. It says, 4 years since the infamous Hinman speech, and we are nowhere closer on knowing how to classify digital assets in the U.S., keeping every crypto, including ETH, in regulatory limbo. I pinned some thoughts for at Fortune, why enough is enough. So I think this hits us right on the head. It's like, if anything, it almost seems like there's been multiple steps back, or maybe even just like we just may be going lateral in regards of, how things are classified. Now, when it comes to this whole ETH thing, the reason why I brought up the Chairman Gensler thing here is apparently he was talking, I forgot who he was talking to, whether it was a senator or somebody. He was talking to somebody behind closed doors and pretty much confirmed that ETH is considered a commodity. It's not a security. But whenever he's asked about speaking on whether Ethereum's, security status or whatever the case is, what is the status of Ethereum? He says, I am a chairman of the SEC, we can't speak on one particular digital assets, yada, yada, yada. But behind closed door, he can confirm to someone that, Ethereum's good to go pretty much. So, Ethereum gets that free pass. But that person I think it was a lady, I can't remember. And if I find out, I'll put it in the next video. But that person came out and pretty much confirmed that. So it's like, where is this discrepancy at? Why can you do that behind closed door, but you can't speak on a particular digital asset, whenever you're asked for it in an interview? It's crazy, man. It's a perfect example of these closed doors behind the back deals that's been done with this whole Ethereum free pass stuff that we've been talking about as, Ripple and XRP community. I want to just play a touch on this. This is from Squawkbox. It says, breaking, Binance announced they are temporarily pausing Bitcoin withdrawals. I want to just play a little bit of this.
Here, the CEO of Binance just tweeting that there is a temporary pause of Bitcoin withdrawals on Binance because of a stuck transaction causing a backlog. He said it should be fixed in about 30 minutes. Says funds are
SAFU. What is... Do I need to go to the Urban Dictionary for that? What is that?
It doesn't have anything to do with SNAFU, what that stands for.
Or FU.
Secure Asset Fund for Users. It's an emergency insurance fund that was established by Binance in 2018 to protect users' funds.
Well, Binance, of course, is the largest exchange in the world, just in terms of trading volumes of cryptocurrencies. This is adding to concerns after what we've heard from Celsius today, where they are not allowing anybody to withdraw any of their funds. This different situation. Binance is not what Celsius is doing. Binance is saying that this is because...
So I just wanted to put that up because it's going to transition into kind of the whole Celsius thing. And I know if you've been, on Twitter or watching your other crypto YouTubers, they kind of been talking about what's been going on because it's affecting the market as well. But this update here says Binance resumed withdrawals as many retail crypto investors monitor exchanges. Many social media users seem to be waiting for other crypto exchanges, including Coinbase and Kraken, to follow in Binance's and Celsius footsteps by suspending withdrawals. So the reason why I'm bringing this up is like, the solid crypto YouTubers out there, the people that are on Twitter, even, here in my channel, literally, if you don't literally custody your digital assets yourself, you're literally liable. You're putting yourself at risk. And yes, I have a certain percentage of my portfolio on certain exchanges, so I can sell and take some profit whenever I'm ready to do so, but it's a very small percentage. Majority of my assets are in my custody, whether it's a ledger or whether it's one of my mobile wallets, which isn't as safe as holding it into a cold storage like a Ledger Nano. But I just want to let you know, like, if you don't have cold storage or a Ledger Nano S, or you don't have like your own mobile wallet, whether it's MetaMask, Phantom, or Zoom Wallet, whatever the case is, make sure that you custody your own assets, because there's a lot of turmoil and there's a lot of shady stuff going on, and it's out of our control when it comes to the custodying of these these platforms, whether it's a lending platform or whether it's an exchange like Coinbase or Binance or whatever the case is. Like, you don't have any control over that, so make sure you protect yourself. Coming over here, it says from Watcher Guru, just saying, Crypto.com CEO says they will lay off around 260 employees, about 5% of its staff, due to market conditions. So this is huge because Tim hits it right here. Says hashtag Ripple is hiring. This is huge because, as obviously this channel covers a lot what's happening between Ripple and SC and Ripple and XRP. One of my favorite and largest investments in this entire space. So of course I'm going to talk about it while covering the rest of the industry. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because with all this turmoil and all this negativity that's been happening, there's been a lot of these blockchain companies that's been talking about hiring freezes or retracting job offers, laying off and cutting staff. There's been all those conversations happening while Ripple is under an SEC lawsuit, and they're constantly looking to expand and grow their team to scale their business, and they've been scaling and increasing at a tremendous rate the use cases in regards of the partnerships and deals that they've been making, which is crazy. So I just wanted to show some love to Ripple, and I hope the people that do end up getting laid off from these blockchain companies that are doing it, I hope that they're kind of taken care of and they find something secure for themselves and their families. Watcher Guru also says, just say MicroStrategy Bitcoin investment is currently at an 850 million loss. So knowing Michael Saylor and his his high conviction on Bitcoin, I doubt he's sweating at all. He's just probably looking at what can I sell or what can I do to acquire more at these levels. That's kind of his thoughts. So like, this is just kind of like one of those, oh my goodness, 850 million loss. But it's like this guy, he's like, nah, this is it. So I'm curious to see, what happens with, his accumulation of Bitcoin, and whether it's him personally or him with MicroStrategy or whatever case, MicroStrategy or whatever the case is. So on the Celsius thing here, I just wanted to cover this, and a lot of, stuff has been going around. Obviously, Celsius is having a lot of. Let me actually pull it up in CoinGecko real quick. Celsius sell. Let's see. Look at this. So 7-day, 55%. I think it was as low as they were talking about it as. Let's see, like a 14-day, 7-day. Yeah, I think it was like at one point it was like 60% down or something crazy. I forgot what the number was, but obviously there's a lot of stuff going on with Celsius Network right now. It says Celsius Network is pausing all withdrawals, swaps, and transfers between accounts. Acting in the interest of our community is our top priority. Our operations continue. We will continue to share information with the community. So there's also been conversations that you can still deposit, but you can't withdraw. So I guess they're talking about like depositing and potentially like, covering yourself so you don't get liquidated or whatever the case is. This is just another thing that you just don't want to deal with. And I know that there was highly lucrative and, earning interest on certain things, or however you were using this as a DeFi player, whatever the case is. Like, I understand that there was benefits with it, but obviously there's risks as well, especially with this whole Terra Luna stuff that's happening. You have a top 10, digital asset that goes to zero. Now you're seeing the Celsius. Now you're seeing the shakiness with the Tether being pegged to the dollar. I mean, there's just so much stuff going on. Like, I just don't want my at least a majority, most of my portfolio risks on platforms. It's just not worth it. And it's just for me personally. Take care of yourself out there. And I really like this from Panosmek. It says exactly 2 years ago, the crypto market was around 200 billion. Seeing 1 trillion plus seemed like a dream back then. And yet Here we are today at 1 trillion. Zoom out, stay strong. So there's a lot of truth to this, and you know, I really respect this because this is real. I remember seeing, did it hit 98? I couldn't remember if it hit 98, but I know it was at 100 billion at one point. I think it was like 2018 sometime. I remember looking at it like, wow, I really just bought the top. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. I knew I needed to get in. There was some FOMO in there. I was just learning. But I remember being super low, and then now look at us. I mean, even with all the turmoil we're dealing with right now, we're still over $1 trillion market cap. I mean, obviously the dominance with Bitcoin is 43.9, but the point is like we're still up here, which is crazy. So there's a lot of truth to this. So, you know, where we're going to be a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, on the up and up. All in all, that was just kind of the update, some topics that I wanted to cover. Just like I said, you know, protect yourself out there. Just like I always tell you, you know, stay strong out there and be safe, because quite honestly, no one's looking out for you but yourself. Educate yourself, have high conviction on, you know, what you invest in, do your research, and try to make the best decisions for yourself and your family. I want you to come and make sure you subscribe. We're excited to grow this channel. I'm going to keep bringing you content, talking about Ripple XRP stuff, the entire crypto industry, Bitcoin, Ethereum, everything. Anything that I find of interest, I want to have a conversation about it here. And make sure you come to Twitter and follow us at CryptoIsKey1. I really appreciate you guys. With all that being said, stay strong out there. Be safe.